Hello everyone, this is Gear204 here and welcome back to another Minecraft World War II vehicle tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building the Panzer V Panther Ausf. The Panther tank was one of the more prolific medium tanks of World War II. It was a very capable and powerful full tank, boasting stronger armor and a very powerful gun compared to other Allied medium tanks of the time. It suffered a lot from reliability issues, very similar to the Tiger. It also, near the end of the war, due to shortages, a lot of the mechanical elements of it were simplified and less as capable as it was the initial versions, just due to resource shortages and stuff like that of Germany during the war. But overall, it's a very awesome tank and one of the more famous ones that you'll definitely want to add into any of your World War II maps if you have the Germans involved. So this right here is going to cover the Ausf version. There really isn't too many differences between the variants of the Panther. The Panther kind of remained the same looking throughout the war, except for some probably minor details around the exhaust and rear of the tank there. But everything other than that, the turret and pretty much the main hull is all going to be pretty much the same, so you can really use this for any point of the war. Now, with that, before we go and move into the tutorial, I do want to mention a quick few things. The first thing is we will be using some tools that are going to be more accessible on Java. So these tools here will be the Debug Stick, which will be the command for that will be popping up on screen now. You can use the Debug Stick here, and it will be helping us modify some properties of blocks. And we'll also be using the invisible item frame. This command does vary depending on your version, so definitely feel free to look up that command for the version that you're currently on. So it is kind of weird, especially with 1.20 and up. It's gotten really kind of weird and stuff compared to where it used to be just the same command across all previous versions. So definitely do your research for that and get those two materials or those two tools that we will be using here throughout this build if you're on Java. If you're not on Java, I will be offering alternatives to not using the invisible item frames or the debug stick. So don't worry too much. You'll be able to get through this build as well. With that though, let's go ahead and move into the tutorial by beginning with our first layer, layer number 1. Alrighty guys, so for this build, we will be building it in a nice tan color scheme here. This will be kind of what the tanks were painted in from the factory throughout the course of the war, and then usually they were modified by units upon reception. But this was kind of the main color. Used this kind of tannish, more kind of a yellowy color, but really we can't use yellow because it would just be too crazy. But this here is basically the kind of standard stock color scheme, and obviously you can camouflage this and all this stuff as well. I'm also using a resource pack here, which is changing the colors of some of the blocks here. Really not anything too crazy. You're still able to build this pretty accurate to what you see on screen here. Anyways, though, let's get started with this. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to place down a deep slate upside down stair here, and then behind that we're going to place down a sandstone wall, and then a stripped birchwood log like that sideways. Another sandstone wall, another stripped birchwood log sideways, sandstone wall, log sideways, sandstone wall, and another log sideways. So it's going to look something like this here. We're going to go ahead and then place down a deep slate tile upside down stair on the back here, and then we want to go ahead and place down a skeleton skull on the side here of this stair. We're going to go ahead and go off this log with 1, 2, and 3 top slabs, and another stripped birchwood log here on its side, and then another deep slate upside down stair. In the center here, again, a skeleton skull, and then a birchwood trapdoor on the back there to go ahead and wrap up the back. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and repeat the same design we did on the other side here for the tracks, just over here this side. So I'm not going to go ahead and walk through this block by block. As you can see, it's the exact same thing, and just repeating that pattern. Then we're going to place down our deep slate upside down stair here on the front, and across the very front here, we're going to go ahead and use our birchwood trapdoors. So we're just going to take these across like that. And then we're going to go ahead and place down item frames on these trapdoors, as well as a tripwire hook in the item frame. And we're going to go ahead and rotate this so that they face downwards. And you can see here we're using our invisible item frames in this scenario right here for this part. Then we're just going to go ahead and take our smooth sandstone top slabs, and we're just going to go ahead and fill in the back here behind those, and just fill in the entire base of the vehicle like this. And this here is just going to go ahead and create that bottom of the tank. Now, when it comes to the tracks, for this, we want to go ahead and grab ourselves some deep slate blocks. So let me go and go into our creative menu here. And we're going to go ahead and place down deep slate underneath these sandstone walls. So you're just going to go and do that like that. And same thing over here. So it's just going to basically look like the tracks are on the ground there and not just nothing. Then the very last thing we have here is to go ahead and place down some item frames on these logs. And an alternative here to the item frames, I would recommend, if you don't have the invisible ones, is just use a polished black stone button. Those will work just as fine as well. And we're going to place down black concrete in those item frames, which will create the road wheels. And we're going to do the same thing over here. So just like that, and we have our road wheels complete, and we have basically everything done there for layer number 1. Here's a top-down view of what that should look like. If you need to pause the video, go ahead and do so. And that is going to wrap up layer 1, like I said, and we'll be moving on to layer number 2. Moving on to our next layer, we have layer number 2. For layer 2, to get started with here, we're going to take our smooth sandstone stairs. We're going to place down a row of 3 across the space here, as well as a stripped birch log block to both sides. And then we want to place down an item frame on the ends here, and we're going to go and place down a cobweb in those item frames like that. If you're on Java, we can also place down a birchwood button on the side of this block as well. You can place down buttons and item frames in the same block space on Java, so we can go ahead and do that little extra feature. If you're not on Java, you'll just be placing down the item frame. With that done, we're going to go and grab ourselves some smooth sandstone blocks, and we're just going to go ahead and place down rows of 5 of smooth sandstone across. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 of these rows of blocks going all the way back. You're going to stop once you get to this point here. Now on the back here, we're going to go and place down our stripped birchwood logs sideways like that, as well as our smooth sandstone there in the center. We're going to go and place down a lever going off these blocks like that, and then in the very center there, we're also going to go and place down a tripwire hook like that. We also want to place down a deep slate stair on top of this one like that from the previous layer. And then taking birchwood trapdoors, we're going to place down a trapdoor on the side of that deep slate stair. And then along the side here, all the way along the side there are the smooth sandstone blocks. And that's going to create the side skirts here along the sides. So just like that. And then up here in the front as well for the fenders, just to kind of show a little bit of the fender wrapping around the front here, we're going to go and place down some birchwood trapdoors on the front here as well. Once that's all done there, we're going to go ahead and move into our next layer, which will be layer 3. But here's a top-down view again for those of you that do need it. And with that, we'll be moving into our next layer, which will be layer number 3. Moving into our next layer here, we have layer number 3. For layer 3 to start with, we're going to place down a birchwood trapdoor on this right side. So this block here only. We then want to go ahead and take our smooth sandstone. We're going to place down a smooth sandstone stair here, then one to the side. This can be followed with another stair here, and then a corner stair to both sides. So you have basically just a row of 5 stairs across the front. We'll grab a chain, and we're going to place down a chain that's going to come off this stair here to the right side for the hole-mounted machine gun, as well as an item frame on this stair here, in which we're going to go ahead and place down a black bed, which will be rotated sideways to show like the driver's viewport. Then on the left side here again, we're going to place down a skeleton skull, which is going to come off this corner stair like that facing forward. And I believe, if I remember correctly, that was like the headlight or something of that sort. Behind these blocks here in the middle, we're going to place down a smooth sandstone stair, smooth sandstone full block, and then a birch strip log to both sides for the hatches there, and then another smooth sandstone stair there to the sides. We're going to go ahead and continue our smooth sandstone stairs back 1, 2, 3, 4. And then over here, same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll go ahead and then take our smooth sandstone, and we're just going to fill in the space here like that to go ahead and just fill that in completely. Now, when we get to the back here, we're going to go ahead and place down a row of 2 of deep slate stairs for like some spare tracks mounted onto the side of the hole. And on the middle here, we're just going to place down 2 rows of 3 of smooth sandstone again like that. On the front of the stairs, we're going to place down dark oak with signs. So just like that. And then we want to go ahead and place down another row of 3 of smooth sandstone blocks across and a smooth sandstone stair to the sides as well. We're going to go ahead and then go to the back by placing down a skeleton skull on these 2 stairs on the sides. And then grabbing ourselves a polished deep slate, we're going to place down a polished deep slate wall to both sides, as well as a birchwood fence gate in the middle, which will be opened up toward the front of the vehicle. After that is all done, we're also going to go ahead and grab an item frame, and we're going to place down an item frame on the side of this stair here. So same thing to both sides, and in that item frame, we're going to place down a white stained glass pane. Now, if you're on Java, we're going to place down a block that comes off the side here, And we're going to go ahead and place down a polished blackstone button on the side of that block. We'll use our debug stick by left-clicking the button until we get selected facing, and we're going to rotate that so it comes off the side of the stair. And we're going to do the same thing over here as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to kind of create the little German iron cross symbol, or pretty much the best we could do at this scale. So that is going to be located right there on the side of the tank. Anyways though, once that's all done, the very last thing to do here again for my Java players is we'll go to this stair right here with the chain mounted to it. We're going to left click this until we get selected shape, and we're going to go ahead and right click this a few times until we get this corner stair shape, which is going to be a little more accurate to the little bulge that comes off for the hole mounted machine gun. Anyways though, that right there is going to wrap up everything we have for layer number 3, and with that, let's move on to layer number 4. Moving on to our next layer, we have layer number 4. For layer 4 to start with, we're going to take our smooth sandstone, and we're going to place down a row of 3 of full blocks across this space here. It's going to be on that second space back from the section that has the stripped birchwood logs. We're going to go ahead and place down a row of 3 of smooth sandstone upside down stairs, and then for the gun itself, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 polished smooth sandstone top slabs going forward. Then we're going to place down a item frame here to the side, which will be having a black concrete block in it. And then over here on this side, we're going to place down another item frame with a smooth sandstone block in the item frame. So we'll go ahead and grab one here and just a smooth sandstone block. And same thing will be done over here, an item frame on the side of the stair and a smooth sandstone block. We'll then grab a birchwood sign we're going to place on the front here of this stair here. And then if you're on Java, we'll also place down the signs on the side of the item frames to the sides and also on the front here as well. Again, you'll only be able to place those signs if you're on Java. Then on the very tip here, this last slab, we're going to place down another sign to both sides. We'll then place down a birchwood trapdoor here on top for the muzzle brake. And then we're going to place down another item frame on the front of the slab and then a black concrete block, as well as another birchwood sign if, again, you're on Java. So that will create the gun there for the build. Now, once that's done, we're going to go and take our smooth sandstone. We're going to place down a second row of 3 going back, and then one more so you block down the center so you have a design that looks like this. In this space here, we're going to place down a smooth sandstone stair like that to both sides. We'll also go ahead and grab ourselves some yellow stained glass panes, and we're going to place down 2 yellow stained glass panes here along the sides. For the section over the engine bay here, we're going to go ahead and place down a rail like this to both sides for some venting. Then we're going to place down a dark oak wood trapdoor to the right side here, and then a daylight detector turned to night mode, so that light bluish gray color to the left. And in that middle space, we're going to go ahead and place down a redstone repeater with the notches spread apart like so. We then want to go ahead and grab our rails again. We're going to place down again rails to both sides, and then we're going to place down a birchwood button in the very center between them. Then we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves some flower pots, and we're just going to place down flower pots on top of those polished blackstone walls like that for the exhaust to finish those off. Then we want to go and grab some iron bars, and we're going to go ahead and go to the left side here on top of this stair right here. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, just 4 iron bars that go up like that for the radio antenna. Once that's all done there, we're going to go and make one quick change here. Is we're actually going to go ahead and replace this middle block here with a stripped birchwood log sideways, so it should actually look like that there on the back. Also, in addition, for my Java players, we'll grab our debug stick here, and we're going to go ahead and extend our glass pane, this last one here, toward the back. So it's going to go ahead and extend back like this, and we'll just go ahead and do this by left-clicking, finding the direction we need to extend it. So for me, it's going to be north, and then we'll just right-click it to true, and it'll look like that. We're also going to go ahead and change the shape here of these stairs again, so the corner stairs fill in this space a little bit more, and be a little bit more accurate to the shape of the turret. So again, just a few things there to go ahead and touch up on if you're on Java with the debug stick. Anyways, though, that is going to wrap up everything we have for layer number 4. Again, here's a top-down view of what that should look like. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving into our final layer, which will be layer number 5. Moving into our last layer, we have layer number 5. For layer 5 to start with, we're going to place down a row 3 of birchwood trapdoors across the front here, and then 2 birchwood pressure plates going forward like so. We then want to place down another row 3 of daylight detectors across. Make sure you close those trapdoors if they do open. We'll also place down a piston that's going to sit right here if you're on Java. If you're not on Java, I would recommend using an end portal frame. However, before we go ahead and place that piston, I would recommend going ahead and grabbing yourself a barrier block. And because these item frames are a little daylight detectors are going to be exposed to light, they will cause the piston to shoot up in the air. You could also fix this by changing these to the night mode, but that color doesn't really match, so I like to keep it on that day mode. So instead of placing the piston right away, we can actually place down a barrier block above it and then the piston underneath it. So it will actually prevent it from shooting up in the air, which is a fun little technique there to make sure it doesn't shoot up. We're going to go ahead and then place down our 2 daylight detectors across this way here, and then one more on the back like that to go and finish off the top of the turret here. Now, for my Java players, we'll use our debug stick here, and we'll go ahead and right-click that piston like so, as well as we'll place a birchwood sign on the side of the piston here on the back, and then, again, if you have the M portal frame, you can place a sign on the side here as well if you want to as well. Now, on the side here, we're going to add the machine gun, so for this, we're just going to place down a wither skeleton skull, and then a chain, and then this last feature here, you can either place down another wither skeleton skull back like that, or if you're on Java, like I am, we're going to go ahead and place down a block here to the side, and we'll grab a tripwire hook, place it on the side of the block, left click the tripwire hook till we get selected facing, and we'll rotate this so it comes off the stair, just like that, or it comes off the wither skeleton skull like that. And once you have that all done right there, that's going to wrap up my design here for my Panther Ausf. Hope you guys do enjoy this design and are able to put it to good use. If you do end up using this build, I do ask that you guys give me proper credit for the build. This can be anything from a sign on the build to link to my channel or this video if this does appear on your social media sites. As long as you guys give me credit for it, you're free to use it for projects you guys are working on. With that though, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Garrett 2x4, and I will see you guys next time.